And it looks like we are just about ready to go, so let's give it up for Ventifer and Ring Fit Adventure with Runner Cam.
How's it going? How's it going? My name's Ventifer. This is Ring Fit Adventure. I'm on Tennessee 30, so next up for B-World 2. First 2 worlds.
I'm Shredberg. I'm going to be helping him commentate on this.
And let's get a countdown and we'll get started, guys. Yeah, I don't know what Ring Fit Adventure is. It's a exercise RPG. Exercise plus RPG-ness and fitness. Let's get started. Let's see more of the run as we go through it.
Alright, do you want me to give you a countdown?
Yes, please.
Alright, so on 3. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. So time on this starts on the first movement for that one. And so as he explained, this is a fitness / RPG. Unlike pretty much any RPG, fitness, anything, I don't know if those really existed all that much, but this one really takes the RPG part of it seriously. So right here at the beginning, what Ventifer is going to be doing is actually grinding a bunch of XP, and the game gives you XP through all the exercises that you do. So the big one that we're going to be doing is, so there's high knees that he's doing. This is different than actual running. It's going to be slightly slower, but
this trap wasn't too tight.
Oh no.
That happened a few times. Nah, marathon first.
Unfortunate. Yeah, that's happened to me where it slips down a few times, but I've never had it fall off completely. But yeah, so he's going to be doing high knees. That's going to give him a bunch of XP. He's also going to be doing ring presses throughout the whole run, and that's going to give him XP as well. What he wants to do is, well, he's going to replay this level multiple times because we want to be level 9 before we go on to the next level. What that does is we're going to be fighting enemies soon, and we want to be able to spend as little time on enemies as possible. And if we can do that, we will go through the game a lot faster than if we just rush through it. So while it seems like...
It seems super easy.
Yeah. This is probably the most tiring... I don't know about you, Ventifer. What's your thoughts? I actually find high knees in a lot of ways like less tiring than trying to sprint throughout the level. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, high knees is much easier. But to me, yeah, high knees is much easier. Yeah, sprint constantly does kill your cardio-wise. Whereas yeah, much more.
Doing it doesn't
start level. So you gotta do the victory pose at the end to thank your XP. We'll see how much more grinding we have to do here. In level, you see how much exercises you do. You can check your heart rate here too, but I don't really need it.
Yeah, that's slow. We're not going to be doing that.
The ring presses were low there. I only did like 400. I only do like 500 to 600 per pass. Okay, do better here.
Yeah, it might not seem like it. If you don't have Ring Fit, the biggest thing, like misconception with it, is that a lot of the things seem like they would be straightforward to do. But honestly, I've known people that are like not in shape at all, and it's perfect for them, and they get tired, and that's, you know, like myself, out of shape, it works perfectly. I've known people that are like like they're in shape, they, you know, sports and all that kind of stuff, and even on intensity 30, it knocks them out a lot. So one other thing that we're doing, and the reason why we're grinding, is you actually start out with 4 different attacks. One of them is squats, one of them is arm presses, one of them is an ab workout, I forget the name of it, and then there's a chair yoga pose. The thing is that not only are 3 of those attacks like very difficult to continually do over a 40-minute speedrun of this, but they also take a long time. So by grinding this out, we're actually going to get attacks that are much quicker and much easier to do. And also, luckily for later on, we're going to have attacks that attack multiple enemies. So this grind here, it doesn't just make it easier in the sense of like, you know, it's faster, but it also just takes a lot less body strain than previous routes took, which made, in turn, the runs a lot longer. were exhausted.
More body strain in the beginning. That saves every time for sure.
Oh, that's
Why
true.
did it?
Yeah. Going through these levels. The one nice thing about enemies is it does give you sort of a natural break.
Oh yes, enemies are such a break from recesses, from running. I don't seem like it, but they are breaks. They could really excel the world and go back into it. At that time we did about 600 ring presses. The 200 more than last time. Much better. And what were new skills? You gain skills as you level up, you gain HP, attack, defense powers, and are more RPG. I need this 2 more times, probably.
So one thing as well that you might wonder is, so like, why is the category Beat World 2? Why not, you know, a full game run of this? If you have played the game before, you might have found out that this game's actually, like, when it says that you can play this game for like 3 months and still have things to do. Yeah, it's extremely long. It is so very long. So the current on Intensity 30, the world record's like 17 or 18 hours. It's something ridiculously high. So it's like literally a marathon.
Yeah, I think Intensity 30 is 22 hours right now.
22, there you go. Yeah, and then Intensity 1, which is like the easy difficulty. That one is that 15 hours?
16 or 15, yeah.
Yeah, this game's very long. So, you know, it's a fun speed run because you get to exercise during it, so it feels like you're, you know, 2 birds with 1 stone and all of that. So there's shorter categories like Beat World 1, Beat World 2, World 5, and World 10 to allow people to have, you know, certain lengths of speedruns that they want to do, while still being a realistic length, not just for time of the day, but actually having the physical energy to do the whole run.
Yeah, you'll understand the run more by practicing more, like Edward says.
Oh, that's true, yeah. I think that recently in the 80% world record holder found out some strats by watching your World 10 run. I know he was saying that.
And plus, you're practicing too. You're doing a World 10 run, preps you for a full game run. If you do like 10 World 10 runs, then you get way more prepped up. You're getting 2 levels here, then we'll be play one more run here.
Are you gonna have to go through the whole level again, or are you just gonna do? Sometimes you can do part of it since you can just exit out. But what's your plan on that one?
It's probably gonna be full level here, maybe in full and a half even. Unfortunately, so free presses are still bad in the first round. We're a bit short on XP.
I forget how long. So for Intensity 30 any percent, I believe it was 45 minutes that they went through this first level.
Yeah, it's about 30-35 minutes to get a level about 28. And from there you start doing the normal run. You burn about 25 calories per run at this level. That's about 300 calories burned in 35 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. Luckily for any percent, it's just one of the biggest things with Intensity 30. Some of the exercises are incredibly different. Like, they make you do, I think it's, 39 squats, and you're holding the squat for like
5 seconds.
5 seconds?
Yeah, go really low too.
Yeah, you have to go really low. It really makes it strict. So this game, you know, it's very beneficial to not have to do the basic squats that the game has it loaded for you.
Yeah, the difference between Intensity 1 and Intensity 30 are pretty big. Intensity
there's a
1,
huge difference.
you can exercise for 2 reps, for squats. Like Intensity 30, which I was saying 36, 39. Huge difference.
Huge difference. It's a lot easier, and especially like if you do Beat World 1 on Intensity 30, you're actually making sure that you're hitting a certain level. In Intensity 1, you actually want to be as small of a level as possible, because each time you get a level, you take time, and you don't want to do that. So they're drastically different, not only in their routing, but in the, you know, difficulty of the exercises and everything. It's pretty interesting. All right, so now moving on to level 2.
So you're gonna do like about half a level here, then we'll move on to level 2.
Oh, you had to get one more.
Wasn't
Oh,
enough,
no.
yeah. We're 8.5, so
Okay, this one should be quick though.
won't be much. Probably to the first XP piece, and we'll stop there.
If we have any donations, this probably now's the best time.
No problem. We have a $5 donation from Anonymous with no comment. We also, just as a reminder, any donation you get can be put... Any donation you give can be put towards both a donation incentive and a bid war. They are not mutually exclusive like you might be used to. So don't forget to do both.
Yeah, and let's get, so like this run where the, you know, webcam makes it all the difference, that Peking Boo's Mario run later, you're going to want to see webcam for that one. It makes all the difference.
You are going to want to see dance pad webcams for Super Mario 64.
Yes, please.
You want
Love
to.
see DVR or dance pad for Mario.
Yeah, it's super hype. Okay, so now moving on to level 2.
So level 2 has enemies, like level 1.
Yeah, so it's this is what we were prepping for, was to get 2 enemies. It's gonna have 2 enemies, and hopefully they're gonna go real quick.
The fairly basic enemies has basically goblins, but look like exercise equipment.
Yep, and they all have names that are puns off of them, although I do not remember any of the names.
In Gob Hop one, I think. I might be wrong though. But yeah, all the names are puns.
Well, actually, you're doing high knees, so I don't think it would matter in that one. But you don't generally want to jump off of things. You can jump and then hold yourself in the air, but that's slower. You also just want to not jump and hold because it would be slower for that one. You know, since you're not doing as many high knees. Oh, there's the first enemy.
We need explanation for how the battle here. Like Trevor was saying, battles are used by exercises. So we do mainly yoga poses. They're the quickest. I know yoga is quick.
The biggest thing about this is damage per second when you're doing these kind of things. So the squats and arm presses, they want you to press them for a long time, and again, you have to do like 39 of them. So if you just do the math, it takes minutes to do one attack. But the yoga poses are very quick. The yoga poses, they have you hold them, and they probably take about like 6 or 7 seconds in between them. But instead of having to do 39, you have to do 16. So you can also somewhat speed them up. So he's going to try to hold these for the minimal amount of time. He needs to be a little bit careful, because if he goes too fast, he'll get a good instead of a great, and it will do minimal damage. In general, it's fine, it doesn't matter, but if he does it too many times, he'll have to do an extra attack. Not an extra full attack like a full chair pose, but just, you know, another arm lift or arm drop on this one.
With yoga poses, you can go a little bit quicker too. You don't have to go until you get greats generally. You wait till your character's hair becomes Super Saiyan color. So yoga, you go slowly before. But it's kind of tricky to time it. And we're gonna damage
Yeah,
this
the
here.
one thing, there's a few things on this that require actually like really good precision, but it's kind of difficult to be precise with things on this. Oh, and one thing to note as well, you notice that he just lets the enemy hit. So there's an ab guard part of it, and you just hold the rig into your abs. But it takes like 2 seconds for the enemy who is just like trying to drill past this shield that you give yourself. But if you just put it there so that the enemy attacks, you sort of bait him, and then he still attacks you, and it saves, again, about 2 seconds on that one.
It's so much quicker.
Yeah. So arm presses there. There was like 6 of them. Normally, if you're level, you'd get into there if you did this normally about level 3. And attacking those enemies at level 3 takes 2 full attacks of those. On intensity 1, that's not a problem because it's basically the same time. On intensity 30, it's like an extra 2 minutes, and you're exercising that entire time. And arm presses for 2 minutes, they're they killed me.
Yeah, cutting out a whole attack takes so much time. It's all just there, we just jump up the stairs, or the stair jump. Whereas, pretty good timing, but it saves quite a bit too.
Yeah, it saves quite a bit. It's like a couple seconds. You can just, I have a feeling that you could, in theory, infinitely chain those.
I think you can, yeah.
But it would, how I think that it works is once you land on the stairs and you're on the stairs, you will be slowed down. But if you're in the air, you keep your same momentum. So as long as you do frame perfect jumps off of those, you will keep your speed, or at least it'll drop down a lot less. Unfortunately, it's really difficult to do frame perfect presses. And you can still do it, even if it's not frame perfect, you'll still save time, even if it's, you know, a few frames afterwards, but it's pretty precise, because you slow down really quickly.
Yeah, as Trevor said, you do save momentum when you're in midair. Squeeze in a little bit later on World 2.
One interesting thing about these enemies, too, is there is a bit of RNG on whether or not they attack you after you attack them. And most of the time they attack you, but there's some times where they'll just, I don't know, feel sluggish or whatever, and they won't attack at all. And that saves like a second or two. But no good RNG here. I'm surprised that you're going with the overhead. At least for me personally, after all the ring presses on the first couple levels, I get my shoulders are really sore.
Yeah, I do too, but I don't feel like doing the knees to chest. And squats just suck. I hate doing squats in this.
Oh, that's true. You probably lose a little bit more time too, going from holding it to...
Yeah, going to the ground and knees to chest would be a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Going forward, so it's not anything too major.
So now we're going to be going into the final level. Going to be going up a staircase and then to the boss of this game, Drago.
Drago's like a recurring boss. You see him fairly often. Kind of like a Bowser, pretty much.
Basically.
And we just got a neat lift here, which is a useful aerobic skill. Faster than the rep skills. It does a lot more damage too. We would make use of that against Drago.
Do we have time for a donation?
Absolutely.
Yeah, go for it.
We have $40.05 from Cosmic Nerd Boy. Amazing to see some Ring Fit adventure runs in a marathon. Who knew fitness and gaming would be so amazing to see it speedrun? Good luck and pose for victory.
Yeah, thanks so much for the donation, man.
As you saw before we entered this world, it asks if we want to take a break. Well, ask us that. About every 15 minutes or about 150 calories. And I'll say in every world. Just control you. You pick that, well, rip run.
An interesting thing about this category is faster when you have the language in Japanese. There was recently, if you watch the most recent Nintendo Direct, there was an update that allows you to choose the language. But you used to have to change your system settings. So luckily, you don't have to anymore. So now the text shows up in English, but the voice is in Japanese, which is good because, especially in this category as well, after you finish the world, it's going to ask like, oh, hey, are you done? And I, at least for me, I can't read Japanese. So there's been at least 2 times where I just quit out of the game and it takes like an extra minute to get back in. So it basically is like rip run. Yeah, it is frustrating, but
just
now
spamming A, then you spam A to exit the run. For the Drago, we're using Nemos and chair poses. He does more damage, but he shouldn't kill us being a higher level than we are now. The aerobic exercises, they're faster than the normal rep exercises, they're still kind of slow. And you only go as fast as Tip goes here. Tip is this guy who we're copying the animations on. He should show up in Smash as well, by the way.
Tip for Smash for sure.
We're doing 60 reps of these. Decent chunk.
So, one thing with this game that I actually kind of don't understand the game gets tough at the very beginning. The first chapter of this game is always really, like, the first casual playthrough is always really hard, and then you get attacks like these, and it makes the game a lot less, I don't want to say difficult, but like it's a lot less draining on you physically. Like this attack compared to squats is a lot easier. You're doing like close to 60 of these, but it's not even close to the amount of body strain compared to doing the squats. And for a while, these categories it was mostly do chair pose, and then your choice. You could do, a lot of people did knees to chest, but if you wanted to do squats or arm presses, your choice. Letting Drago again, he's gonna. Actually, are you gonna kill him this time, or is there gonna be one more attack?
There'll be one more attack after this.
That's right. Although I think that's RNG on whether or not he's gonna attack on this one or not.
Yeah, he
well.
sometimes doesn't attack for the second attack here. He saw I went too fast on the yoga pose, so give me the big warning sign. You can't go too fast on yoga. You can go slow, but you can't go fast. And I think the reason why they started off with basic like squats, the squats are like a whole body exercise. It targets everything pretty much.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Plus it wouldn't be, I think one thing as well is to get people to realize that this game is actually like a legit fitness game, because it is. And it definitely starts out with, the arm presses and all of that. But at the same time, like if you're just wanting like a light exercise, the intensity, there's 30 of them, there's perfect ones for basically everybody.
Yeah, this game is very, very accessible. From the difficulty options to the accessibility options, issues where your legs where you can't run, you turn on the leg exercises and just use the controller. Same for arms, same for chest, for yoga. It's crazy what they've done with this game. It's made off the Breath of the Wild engine as well.
Yeah, it is. You can really tell there's going to be some grass coming out. Well, there was grass earlier, but there's going to be more grass in World 2, and you can really see it there. The beautiful Breath of the Wild engine grass.
After you kill Drago here, just be in the World 1, you'll fly off and we will bow to chase him down again, and we'll start World 2.
Yeah, and so there's 23 full worlds in this one, so again, very long game, so it's 45 minutes for just doing the first two worlds. Although we obviously set up a lot of stuff to make the run faster, but still, it's a long game. I know I would say it's worth your money to buy and get it right now, but the game, I realize, is you cannot get it from like a store, and it's ridiculously expensive secondhand right now.
Their manufacturers got hit by COVID-19, so you can actually get it because of that.
Hopefully we can fight and beat it so more people can play this game. I guess going in between the worlds is the perfect time for donations as well. If you have any, or any other updates or anything.
Yeah, good donations, feel free to in here. There goes Drago. But this back and run.
And World 2, so like World 1, Level 1, it only had, didn't have any enemies on this. This next, and it was 3 different levels, including the boss. So World 2 is going to be 4 levels. There's going to be more enemy encounters.
More terrain stuff too, different types of terrain, conveyor belts, swamps, jumps.
Yeah, it starts to get really... World 1 starts you off easy. World 2 is where it gets crazy. I think of all of these, although I probably wouldn't do it, Beat World 5 is probably one of my favorite, because that's when you get to like really long and there's a lot of different strats and routing that you can do. This game has something called smoothies, where it basically boosts your attack, or it can do other things as well, but there's interesting routing that has to go along with those, that once you get into longer categories, you're worrying about. This one's too short to get there, but still, this adds a lot of things, because this level has mud, that requires you to do high knees. You saw that he's jumping over that as much as he can because it's much slower to be walking through the mud than it is to jump over it. So he's going to be jumping and hovering as much as possible.
And here's the first enemy skip here too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You don't have to skip enemies, but with higher elevation, you can get over them. So in key spots you do that, but pretty awesome when you can.
Yeah, you can go ahead with a quick donation if you have one.
I do. I have $50 from Gecko State 92, just saying victory.
Victory.
Yo, Gecko, thank you, dude. Like Trevor was saying about Beer World 5. Also, you have the skill tree that unlocks there too. Skill tree gives you more skills, more attack power, defense power, more everything. These are very unique abilities.
Yeah, and even after this world as well is where you have attacks, and each attack has a different color, and each enemy is a different color. And if you use the same color attack as you do on an enemy, you get extra damage, but it doesn't unlock until after you beat World 2. So we're not going to be seeing that, unfortunately.
I always thought of that doesn't unlock until after World 2.
Yeah.
It's a key feature behind World 2.
Yeah, exactly. So unfortunately, that's part of the routing. But this game, again, there's just, like I was saying before, there's a lot of games that I've seen that say like, oh, we're making this, but it's like just a fitness game, but we're trying to make it an actual game. This game really is close to as much of an RPG as it is a fitness game. Like as I'm sure many people were somewhat doubtful that the game would be anything of an interesting RPG. The game has a lot of RPG routing to it. That's like really cool that I've never seen in a game before.
I was very, very unsure about picking this up. I bought on day of release, and I wasn't too sure. But now they had like a rhythm game mode. It was like a Beat Saber style of rhythm. Crazy.
Yeah, I really need to try that out.
It's an amazing workout too.
Is there one more enemy here, or is that the last enemy?
There's no more enemies on this world. Missed a few XP pieces, but shouldn't matter too much. We have environmental hazards here too. And we use certain things to destroy them. Add guards, like add twists, add pushes, pull, squats. There's some very crazy things that they invent to make you work out. And the game keeps track of how many calories you burn, how many miles you ran, how much time you exercise. It's interesting. How correct it is.
Although I do think the calorie counter that's over there in the bottom corner, it stops at 999.99.
Yeah,
so like in
out.
longer categories, it just maxes out, but it still keeps track of it, just not in that thing.
Yeah, probably kind of odd that they don't expand the calorie counter to go past 999. I guess I never thought somebody would go that far.
It would be a good idea, but at the same time, as cool as these runs are, I don't know how good of an idea it would be for Nintendo to like promote doing this for like as long as you have to do for speedruns sometimes.
Yeah. Maybe you have a liability deal with.
Yeah.
Completely understandable.
How many calories would you say that you burn during this category? At least with what the game says.
This category is about 250, probably about 300, honestly.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, the calorie counter on this one, I don't think it's incredibly accurate though, so.
Yeah, I've heard discerning theories about it, compared to like an Apple Watch or a Fitbit. Some say it's exact, some say it's low, and most say it's high.
Yeah, I think that it's just a little bit high, but still, I mean, it's better tracked than nothing, I guess.
So they base the calorie count on your weight. plus the exercise
Oh, yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
I'm not for sure on the mileage either. The mile, like, how they keep like the miles is that correct or not either. I think it's probably more correct though.
I think that they just say that like the full level is a certain distance, and it just bases it off of how far the character goes like through the level.
Yeah, that
Like,
makes
I mean,
sense.
maybe they do it based off of your steps, but like you would have to do that based off of like something like height or leg length or something, and the game does not ask you for your height or leg length or anything like that.
Yeah, each person's gauge would be different one.
Yeah.
So right here, I finished exercise too soon and made me redo it over. Well, you don't want to finish exercise soon. Kind of punishment.
Yeah, these ones. So with the yoga ones, it's a lot quicker to fix it. With these ones, you have to do. I don't think it makes you do the whole attack, or maybe that's just at lower intensities where
It
it's a
makes
little
you
bit
need a
more
whole
lenient.
attack on higher intensities.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. But you lose a lot of time when that happens. It's actually, you really want to make sure that you don't. So it's one of the balancing acts of this speedrun is you want to finish your attacks as fast as possible, but you don't want to do them to where, you know, like what just happened where you had to do the attack twice.
You see there, jumping buggy up from there though. They increased my momentum. And that'll carry me further.
Have you tried jumping? So those boxes that fell, have you tried jumping off of one of them when you land on top of it?
Yeah, I've done it once or twice. It's kind of tricky. It's entertaining though.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it would be particularly easy to do, but
I think it might be very slight time safe, but
yeah.
again. Now
So
we
one
move
more
on to
level
the
before
last
the boss
world before the boss. You get access to choose a minigame here too. There are minigames in the game. Most of them are okay, some are really bad, and some are above average. We try not to do them.
Which one's really bad?
Squatter. One where you squat to make the bases.
Oh,
Or
that,
wheel.
one's smart. That one is ridiculous.
You'll be so precise on it.
Yeah. That
That'd at
is
least
it.
be really bad, but they fixed it a little bit.
Oh, I haven't been able to play since the update, so I need to do. I especially want to do the rhythm game that you were talking about earlier.
Then,
Yeah, there's also what is it? Dreadmill is another mini game that is pretty despised, I think. Just
yeah,
for
it
the-
doesn't surprise because there's input lag. You'll be super precise on it, and with input lag, you can be very precise.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate, but just going through these enemies.
And they also have a custom workouts where you make a custom workout of your own. If you don't play once you play the adventure mode.
Oh, that's true, and especially as well, a lot of these exercises can be really draining for you. There's especially ones you unlock later, like mountain climbers, planks, and all of those. So if you want to do it, it's not exactly going to be like high intensity interval training or anything like that. It's nothing insane, but you can definitely put custom workouts to be a bunch back to back to back of exercises that can just again drain you. This game is very, very good as an exercise game.
And they also have a multitask mode where you put the game in sleep mode and do like ring presses, ring pulls. You get the XP from those back to your character and we start the game back up again.
Yeah, that's true.
They have like leaderboard stuff too for multiplayer. Compare your rankings with other people. Impressive, but they have none of it.
Yeah, that's true. I played this game every day from like, well, maybe not every day, but like a lot until like early January, and then I fell off because I am lazy. But it was really fun to try to like climb up leaderboards against other people too. That was really cool. Or your friends. But I was pretty much, I think, number one on anybody on my friends list because they did not. When you speedrun it, it gives you a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, you guys have a bit more advantage in the rankings.
Although you do have to do it on a different profile, so it doesn't it's also a little bit misleading.
Yeah, I have like 8 different profiles, so can't really compare too much. I thought for the longest time you had to link your character to do to redo a run, but you actually don't. So
Alright, we're saving hubby here from this guy. He owns a shop with his wife, Honey. That would be shown in World 3, but we're not going to be doing World 3.
they sell equipment, so like shirts, shorts, and shoes. Your equipment increases your attack power, defense power. They sell smoothies and ingredients. Smoothies heal you, they buff you. Ingredients you make smoothies.
Yeah, actually, I'm not sure. How much are the shops actually? I imagine that you would get the equipment every single time. Are you buying smoothies mostly, or in longer categories are you mostly doing crafting smoothies?
I craft most smoothies,
That's what I would
but
imagine.
near the end of the run I'll buy stuff with excess money. Money's pretty tight most part of the run, so it gets better near the end.
So this is
Equipment-wise-
we just saw him with the warrior pose. One interesting thing about this one is one attack, but you're doing it on 2 different sides. The unfortunate part about this attack is that it always starts you on the same side, but if you do this attack second and beat an enemy, you will like exercise more than one half of the body more than the other. So I feel like the game should update itself to be random on which side. Speedrunning purposes, that would be annoying. So maybe it shouldn't update to do that.
They did add the update where they'll have you finish the exercise whenever you want. They'll say you want to kill the enemy to the left side, and keep on going to the right side as well to kill the enemy.
Okay, that's really good then. I like that.
You can turn it on or off as well, so you don't have to do it.
That's actually really cool. This is a game that I didn't imagine that they would have many updates for it. Even, I mean, it's been popular, but still, that's really cool.
Yeah, so don't expect updates for this, honestly. That'll be one and done, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, realistically, how many updates could you even do? But like, it's just really cool that
Yeah, well, it's gonna
that
give
they
you
would
more
do that.
levels, I guess, more worlds. There's already so many worlds.
Yeah, I just think that it was probably more popular than almost anybody expected, which is really cool. It's an awesome game.
Yeah, I was surprised by its popularity as well. Not expecting to take off as much as it did.
No, yeah, and it is the perfect stay home and exercise game.
It is.
And now, so we're gonna go into the Drago level for World 2. This one, the first one was just climbing stairs. This one is a lot. You have to do a lot more things in this boss level to actually get there. So it's more of like a full level, and that's what you generally see later on as well, with some exceptions. Is it's more of a full level rather than just climbing stairs like we did on the first one. But there's no enemies in here though. It is just running until you get to the boss.
Dragon Worlds are usually a lot tougher. Usually they'll show off whatever main ability you learned or used during the full world itself. So here, just giving ring presses, so you know how to do ring presses. If you want more abilities, they'll show off those abilities more. Make you use them more. Like double jump or kayaking or whatnot. And also, run your ring presses here, since XP doesn't matter from this point on. We don't want getting low after Dragos, and that's slow, so we're trying to avoid getting XP.
Yep, because again, every single time that you go up a level, you are going to use about, I think it's as little as 6 seconds, and that's if you don't get any new abilities or anything like that. If you do get new abilities, it can be anywhere from like 10 seconds.
You get a new ability, you gain a heart, you gain both at once.
Yeah, so you really want to make sure that you toe like the line. I don't know if it's necessarily the most optimized category, but it's definitely the quickest for World 1 Intensity 1. It's like you need to make sure that you get as little XP as possible so that you are like just barely not getting a level. You want to be, I think, level 4 right before Drago.
Yeah, you're at level 4 right when you find them.
Yeah, and you want to be at the
bottom
bare
level
minimum of
for no
level 4.
XP.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. This one is a little bit less tight because it's a longer run, but still, you think about what your XP is a lot during this run.
The longer runs aren't as XP tight since, I mean, they're longer and you want more XP. But even then, you still pay attention at the last world you do, the last boss world you do.
Plus, with intensity 32, they generally balance out to where, yeah, you use that 6 seconds, but over the course of each of these attacks, it's probably going to balance out anyways. You just want to make sure that after Drago, you're not doing too much. Because if you get the level up after the boss, and you have to do that twice, that would be just empty time loss. So there's 2 other enemies with those dumbbells that he's holding. You don't actually have to defeat those, so Ventifer's not going to worry about attacking those guys at all. You're just worried about Drago dying. The other 2 can... Wait,
as soon as Drago dies here, it's world over. He does do a lot more damage with those enemies, but he survived them. Not too big a deal.
Yeah, luckily over-leveled so much to where that's just not an issue.
I mean, we can add Birdie when we have 86. That might do. And he usually doesn't attack in this first round either. It's pure RNG, but generally he just does like bicep curls.
Yeah, there's actually I guess actually, unlike a lot of other RPGs, this is one of probably the least RNG intensive RPGs you could speedrun. But at the same time, there is quite a bit of time that can vary. But it's only, I don't know, what would you say, like 25 seconds over this category?
Yeah, there's not that much.
But there is RNG. But I don't think, I wonder if maybe one day the category will get so precise that you need to have perfect RNG, but I have my doubts. Maybe.
There's more RNG in the longer categories due to think of ingredients and smoothies. Because ingredients on a world are random, where you get out of 5 different ingredients. So it can be kind of random there. So your smoothies might be off. That's really the main part of RNG for the really longer runs.
That's a good point. I never thought of that. I've never done any category longer than Beat World 2, so yeah, that's a good point.
You can suck your short on a key ingredient when you make a smoothie.
Yeah, and some of those smoothies are just completely make it overpowered, which is good. How we want it to be.
So we'll have one more attack here, we'll kill him. He'll attack us here once. And we'll end this.
Yeah, if anyone has this game and wants to speedrun it, it's super easy to get into, because you're, for the most part, just playing the game, so I highly recommend it.
We have a Discord as well. Now, I've made a how-to video, there's some notes, plenty of resources for it.
Yep. And I guess another positive thing is for an RPG too, you just kind of see what happens, and it's like, okay, you can just copy what they do to the bone, because again, not much RNG.
The time will be after we do the victory pose. About 10 seconds. So we didn't gain level, awesome. And done. And that's the run.
That's the run. Almost the sub 43 too. That was a really good run.
Yeah, that's a good time. That's really good actually. My PB is like 42:30.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for watching. My name's Ventifer. Thank you, Shedberg, for commentating. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for doing the run. Was very fun.
And guys, please donate for the upcoming incidents, especially the Mario dance pad. It's gonna be so epic to do.
Yeah, I really need to see that dance pad.
And thank you, Calithon, guys.
We for Ring Fit Adventure with Runner Cam. I don't know how to pronounce her name, is in the lead with $50. Your other choices are Mercurio, Lydia, and Ayla. For the Mega Man 11 soundtrack bid war, Instrumental is winning with $5. Original has nothing so far. And for Super Metroid Saber Kill the Animals is at $800.12. Save the Animals is at $492.53. Coming up next, we have Jeff, our fearless leader, chatting with Direct Relief.